Happy Monday. Welcome into another edition of 3 Point Stands presented by Mountain Dew. John Roser, you got me back. Did you miss
I do.
the first?
Welcome back.
Thank you. I've missed these 3 point stands. Thank goodness gracious. I haven't said 3 point stands presented by Mountain Dew in almost a month.
I know what you. Hey, it's like you never left. The way it just rolled off the tongue.
Just rolls. Thank you. All right, let's get to our three topics of the day. Got to get your stance on a lot of them. Let's first start with the Memphis Grizzlies. A lot's happening, Summer League, and then we get that big Woj bomb on Sunday night about a potential trade with the Clippers about sitting Eric Bledsoe and the Grizzlies, Memphis, receiving Patrick Beverly, Rondo, and Daniel Oturu. What was your reaction to seeing this news?
I think the first thing I thought was, wow, I love Patrick Beverly, so I love that he was in that
You love
trade.
because he's on our team, but do you love him when he's an opponent?
Yes, I love Patrick Beverly.
Oh, in general.
Yeah, I love how he plays. The other thought was, well, there's a 0% chance Rajon Rondo is playing here. And then the Arturo, I was like, I don't know anything about him. But the other thing that came to my mind when you saw that they're taking on more money this year, but they save more money for next year, more cap space, free up about $4 million in cap space for next year to go along with whatever they would have in cap space. And the thing that I thought from it was they're going to do what they did with Jonas Valanciunas' contract, and I think they may do the same with Jaren Jackson Jr. and front load his contract extension, pay him more money at the beginning of the extension and have it go down each season, as opposed to normal contract extensions. Your salary goes up each year. You can form them any way you want. I thought they're going to front load Jaren's deal and have it go down because Ja's going to be coming up for his soon after this coming season. Ja's going to be eligible after this next season for his extension. So, he's on after this year. Ja's only going to have one more year on the rookie deal, but he's going to be eligible for an extension after this coming season. And so he's also, he's going to get paid a lot. So that was kind of my thought. I also thought is Tyus Jones possibly on the move, but it could be one of those things that keep Tyus. And, the only thing I could think was, when it came time for the playoffs, the Grizzlies were a disaster without Ja on the court when they played in the playoffs. Like Tyus, you couldn't play it more than like 5 to 7 minutes because it was just, they were so bad without him. It's not all his fault. I'm not trying to totally blame him. But Patrick Beverly is a guy with proven playoff games and has had, big games he has played in the playoffs and he is playoff tested. So the only other thing, Tyus has stayed healthier than Beverly throughout the course of a regular season. But I do think if they choose to go with Beverly and move on from Tyus, I do think that's an upgrade at the backup point guard position. And Beverly is a career 38% three-point shooter.
And I'm with you. I like Patrick Beverly on a team, what he's going to bring to this like kind of mentality and hopefully this roster and this locker room. I will say that what it has showed me is, as you mentioned, I think there's still so much about to happen. Like this is once again just the beginning. We're not done yet figuring out what this roster is going to kind of shape out to be. It's going to take some time. If Rondo does stay, or if this is going to be his home, I like that move too. I just like the veteran leadership that we're adding to this young group. And Daniel Oturu, he's a guy that in the Big Ten playing Minnesota, it's another young guy, youthfulness. He just got drafted in 2020, but he's a guy that can also clean up the boards. And so once again, we are just in this building process, but trusting the front office. We'll see what happens. Still a lot to be seen and still a lot to be done. And speaking a lot to be seen, we got to see a lot this weekend when it comes to the NFL and the preseason. We got a chance to see some of these quarterback rookies. I mean, for you, what are your thoughts? I mean, you've been all invested. We've been talking about the draft.
How are you feeling? Yeah. I mean, Trey Lance was good. I mean, it started with last Thursday, Mac Jones, who was fine. I mean, it was dink and dunk stuff for him, 13 of 18 for 80 something yards. So he didn't exactly not like he was throwing the ball down the field at all. And then you get, Trey Lance, his very first throw down the field, 80-yard touchdown pass. He finished 5 of 14, which is not great, 5 of 14. He did fumble once, but he picked it back, but he got it back up. He recovered it. The big thing with Trey, it really was like his first football game in 2 years. He only played one game last season against Central Arkansas. It really was his first action in 2 years. So at times the game moved a little fast for him, but he stayed poised. He stayed in the pocket almost to like it was to his disadvantage because he got sacked 4 times. The 49ers did not start. Their 2 best offensive linemen are their center, Alex Mack, and their left tackle, Trent Williams, who's the best left tackle in the league. Neither one of those guys played. The 49ers had 22 guys, some starters and some in this, their second string that did not play at all. So, I mean, I do think it will be different when you do have a full offensive line to maybe protect him at different times. They also didn't run anything. Like, they didn't do any design run plays, which I know they're working on with him. They didn't try any of those. So, all in all, I thought Lance was good. And I think he'll keep getting better. They say the kid's a sponge and he's always in the film room. Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, we saw them for we'll get to him. Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson, we saw for 2 series, and they were good. They were fine. Nothing terrible. Justin Fields, that was a great bounce back because those first 2 to 3 series, the first, I think 2 or 3 series he played were 3 and outs. And then after that, he showed off that talent. He showed off his ability to run. He threw some dimes. He threw some dimes on the run. He really did show what he is capable of out there. And look, it's not going to surprise me at all if he ends up being awesome. I've watched the guys tons of times in college. I watched him all the time in college, so it won't surprise me at all if he is not awesome. I think right now for all the rookie quarterbacks, I think all good reviews on all the first round guys, on Lawrence, on Wilson, on Lance, on Fields, on Mac Jones. Fields was obviously the most impressive though.
I agree with you. Fields was most impressive, but I think just overall, I'm just happy to see that we've gotten, I know it's just a preseason game, but we've gotten that first look and to see these guys in that atmosphere as they, move forward and they build off of this. I do think that for all the quarterback talk that we had, during the offseason, during the draft time, I do think it's living up to all the hype that we were all super excited about months ago. Because sometimes we don't get that. We don't get it all the time. And now there's this moment where it's like, you know what? For some of these guys, it seems like it might be a good fit. You still have a long way to go, but to be in that atmosphere, we're just going to move forward. And the NFL is back, and I cannot believe it. And here we are talking about the NFL.
Well, the other thing too with guys like Lance and Fields, at least I think with Fields as it went on, and I know Lance the second quarter on, and a little bit in the third when he started the third. Both the one thing you have to keep in mind where you do have to kind of slow it down a little bit is they were going against second and third string guys at that point because the starters for these teams were not playing a ton. The Chiefs played their starters the first quarter, and that was it. The Bears played with Miami, and they did not play their starters. It's not like they played the entire time Justin Fields was out there either. So there will be an adjustment when you are playing against the first string of NFL defenses because the speed is real.
It is real.
But it's still fun to get excited about. It's awesome to get excited about.
I know you're excited about our third topic. There's some big things happening in the golf world.
Oh, well, the Champions Tour, it's the senior, formerly the senior tour. They call it the Champions Tour now. So Doug Barron is a Memphian. He's from Memphis, and he was out of golf. And then came back and last year won a Champions Tour event. And then yesterday he came from behind down the stretch and won again on the Champions Tour. He was in our Grind City Media video, The Match, to help promote the WGC FedEx St. Jude Invitational with Jessica Benson, with Chris Vernon, Gary Parrish, Memphian Lauren Roberts, and Stanford golfer Rachel Heck, who's the NCAA national champion, who is from Memphis too. They all played a match against each other, and so congratulations to Doug Barron. And he dropped an F-bomb in his interview.
I loved it.
He effing took it. Said he effing took it on television on the Golf Channel afterwards. And
that was the moment where I knew Roser was bright smiling like, that's my guy. That's my dude.
It was great. It was a genuine moment.
Well, Roser, like always, it was great to talk to you. It was a genuine moment right here for this 3 Point Stance edition. I'll talk to you next week.
You got it.